Welcome to K&K's Indie Gaming Corner. It's your host, Karrington, along with your other host, Kyle.
Uh, yeah, I'm here. I am here.
We are both here. We're ready. We're live. We're not live, actually. We're pre-recorded and we're hot.
We tried to go live.
We almost
We
went
did.
live by
Yeah.
accident.
Yes, we were gonna do a surprise live show, but we drew it back a little bit and putting some sweet sounds into your ears. That was a beautiful movement there.
Thank you. You know, I was drawing it back,
There you go.
So, Kyle, something happened over the past couple of weeks that we were trying to get into. You got into, I tried to get into, and that was STEAMS Next Fest. So, can you give our wonderful listeners, put it into their ear holes, what the STEAM Next Fest was?
All right, so you got a week long event that's taking place on Steam, and they are showing off indie games throughout the entire week, whether it's previews, trailers. The most important part is demos are releasing as well for you to play during this week. And some demos that I've gone back to try to play again are not available now. So it was just during the week, during the Next Fest week. And there was a plethora. I'm gonna go through here real quick on my computer because I have a bunch of them downloaded, and I've got 9 demos downloaded of games that I found interesting. Some of the games, just going off the top of my head, are going actually off the list here, is The Last Case of Benedict Fox, which looks really good. There's a game called Desynct as well. One of my favorites that stood out during that week was Planet of Lana, that I really enjoyed playing through. But yeah, it's a game, or it's not a game. It's a festival to celebrate indie games and show off what games are coming out this year, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're all coming out. Well, I don't know about all of them, but a good chunk of them are coming out this year. Due to life, I was only able to play one of those demos, which was Wandering Sword. It's one of those like 2D HD. If you've played Octopath Traveler, it's got that same look and vibe to it, and it is absolutely gorgeous. With it being like a 2D RPG. And if you are really interested in hearing my thoughts and what I thought about it while I played the game, I made a video over on our YouTube channel, so you can check it out. But just to kind of condense what that like 15-minute video was, I loved it, and you should play it.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I got to watch the video. Very very nicely done. It's martial arts JRPG that
Yeah.
looks like if
Crouching Tiger,
if
Hidden Dragon, and Final
yeah,
Fantasy had a baby
with the art style of like Paper Mario's kind of
on
in a way.
steroids. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really pretty. The game is, and they don't hold back with their storytelling. From what I saw in the video, they kind of go
A lot
hardcore
happens.
with
Yeah,
it.
a
Yeah, a
lot
lot happens
happens in the demo. A
quickly.
lot happens. And I tried to like take out some of the more like spoilery stuff because I think there's just certain things that people should experience themselves for sure. So when I say like I put in just the highlights in the video, I literally just put the highlights. I mean, I probably recorded almost 2 hours worth of footage, condensed it
Mhm.
down into 15 minutes. So there was a lot I took out.
So we're talking JRPG. I
hmm
feel like we're seeing kind of a uprising of more interest in JRPGs now. We
hmm
kind of faded away from them for a good while, and now, especially old school inspired JRPGs seem to be
hmm
making a comeback. Especially like Octopath Travelers 2 is um,
That's coming out. I don't know if
released.
it's.
If not, it's already
Is it out?
released.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
I'm not even gonna look. It's coming out very soon, if not already out. But with Wandering Sword, the battle mechanics, how did that feel to you? Did it feel like a classic JRPG as far as selecting through menus and picking your abilities, or did they add anything kind of new to it that you thought was interesting?
I thought it was different because, like, when I think of JRPG battling systems, I literally think of Final Fantasy, where you got kind of go through the menus and stuff. I
Hmm.
didn't have to go through any menus or anything like that. It was literally just one, two, three, four, like on the numpad that you're
Oh,
choosing.
nice.
It's still turn based, but it was more like Knights of the Old Republic turn based, where you have to like build up where your turn is taken after like a bar fills up and then you
Hmm.
go and then I don't know, it was more fluid. It was a lot more fluid for a
Oh, good.
turn-based
Yeah.
RPG than what I'm used to, and it played into the strategy a lot, which I really enjoyed. The whole system I think really worked well for modernizing a turn-based um, combat system.
Hmm.
Because, like I said, you weren't like scrolling through menus or anything. You were just literally using the numbers
Go on.
and selecting. It was really a mix of like a Final Fantasy Tactics kind of thing, and it
Hmm.
modernized it as the best way I can put it.
Yeah, that says a lot because it's weird. I feel like we all have these games that we kind of go back into our heads that we played when we were younger. And
Hmm.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance
Hmm.
is one of those games that, as a kid, I spent a good chunk of time playing, and that is still to this day, almost on a weekly basis. I will just that game will pop into my head and be like, oh, I wish we had a game that was similar to that, or
Hmm.
something that felt as good as that game did, and that was as deep as that game
Hmm.
was. Definitely a true classic. So it's good to hear that Wandering Sword kind of reminded you of Final Fantasy Tactics as well.
Absolutely, and I just can't speak highly enough of that game. Really, honestly,
Hmm.
just how it introduced the characters and some of the just go play it. Honestly, just go play it. There's a lot that happens in the demo. Like story wise, there is a lot that happens. It doesn't even feel like a demo. I
Yeah.
know a lot of times these demos can feel like not a whole lot of love was put into it. Some people think it might be a waste of time to put into as far as like a developer's concerned because they have to put
Hmm.
time into making a demo and it takes time away from the actual game. But this feels like its own game. Like it feels fully fleshed is what I'm trying to say. It
Yeah.
doesn't even feel like a demo.
Yeah. Well, that's really good to hear. It's the fact that we're just it's almost like we had an event, not almost, it was an event that just displayed demos for a week.
Yeah,
That
and that's
is
something I
so cool.
miss. I really
Yeah.
miss playing demos.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So,
remember like getting demo discs with my Xbox and GameCube
mhm,
stuff and all that stuff. Like it almost brought me back to those days.
right. Yeah. Oh, it was great. It was yeah, super good. There was a plethora of games. I wanted to just give a couple honorable mentions.
Hundreds
Um,
even.
there, yeah. Uh, so I put a video out for Sons of Valhalla. I really enjoyed that game. That so Pixel Chess developed the game. It's a 2D base building game that is revolving around Vikings, and while you're building your base, you are also taking over other outposts. You're defending your base, and you're building up your army per se. And you get these special, say, like talismans that you collect as you take over certain areas or you complete certain objectives as rewards. And if you die, you teleport to Odin, and you have to give up a talisman in order to continue your journey. And if you don't have any, then you are dead and the game is over. Um, but it's a beautiful pixel art game that's super challenging, and the voice acting took me by surprise. I didn't realize there was going to be actual voice acting in the game, but it was great. Odin's it's Odin. Why am I saying Odin? Is it? Yeah. No. Yeah, Odin. Sorry. Just the artwork as you're like this tiny little guy, and you get right in front of him, and he's like this hulking dude sitting in a throne with two giant dire wolves or wolves beside him, and it kind of took my breath away just to see how beautiful the lighting. Think of like lighting in a 2D game. Like you wouldn't really care about it, but they did it so well. They put so much time and love into the presentation of this game, and I look forward to the full release of it, as well as Bramble, Bramble the Mountain King, which I did not play. I didn't realize that it was available. I loved Little Nightmares, and I don't know. I mean, I love Inside. I love Little Nightmares. These dark fairy tale esque games, and Bramble the Mountain King looks right up the alley as far as delivering us a dark story filled in a dark fairy tale world while you're trying to explore and wander and figure out what is going on in these Nordic lands. So those two definitely stood out to me as
I
far
will say,
as
I want to say
next
really
best.
quick that I feel like if you rewind the clock like 10 years ago,
Mhm.
it was the full on zombie craze. Everything had a zombie in it, whether it
Right,
be TV, movies, video games. It was the full on zombie
everything.
craze.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you got sick of it eventually,
Yeah,
just seeing it all the time.
absolutely. But I feel like now, 2022, 2023, it's the years of Viking.
Okay.
Because we've got like Valheim, we've
Mm-hmm.
got Sons of what is it,
Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Those are really like super taking off right now. Like
Yes.
Valheim is super taking off right now. I
Yeah.
feel like all my friends are playing Valheim all the time right now. Um, what you call it is also Nordic based. Hellblade,
Uh, Bramble is
Bramble,
Nordic. Yeah, it's based off Nordic fables. What'd you say? Oh, help! You said Hellblade.
Hellblade. The I
Yeah.
mean that came out a while ago, but the second one's coming
Well,
out.
the
That's
second one's
that's
coming out. Yeah.
but that's Nordic based
Yeah.
as well. I feel like the Nordic based stuff. It's just
They're
it's
diving into it.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
just that's just what it is right now, and I
Well,
just
I
think
mean,
it's
even God of War as
yeah.
well.
God of War, yeah. I just feel like that's
That
just an,
released.
it's
Yep.
just an interesting shift in the dynamic. You know what
What's
I mean?
popular this generation,
Yeah,
and what'll
yeah.
be popular 10 years from now?
I
Pig.
thought it was going to be
Pigs.
dinosaurs after the zombie craze, so I'm still calling
Ooh.
for dinosaurs
I'm
at
still
some
waiting for
point.
dinosaurs too, like a Dino Crisis remaster. I think a lot
Yep.
of people are waiting for that, as well as like a new Dino Crisis or or Turok as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
been years since we've seen a Turok game. Um, so there's two games. One that I was anticipating to be good. One that I did not realize was good until I spent 2 to 3 hours playing the demo, and
Okay. Okay.
I'll
Lay it
dive
on
into
me.
that. But so first, Planet of Lana. I was very skeptical about the game,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that they were inspired by games like Inside and Limbo,
Mm-hmm.
but
But
the
not
twist
from
with
those devs, right?
not from those devs exactly. So Planet of Lana was developed by Wishfully and published by Thunderful Games, and why I was skeptical was because the art style and the way that it looks is it's got color. Well, I guess Inside had color to an extent, but it was
But it
very
still had a very
it revolved around grays.
gray. Yeah.
This the landscaping in Planet of Lana is beautiful, vibrant, bright colors. And you're very much on a planet that looks like it is starting to get war torn by aliens, and so I was like, I don't know, I expect dark stuff out of Limbo and Inside. I
Mm-hmm.
did not. I don't really expect dark stuff out of Planet of Lana. It's stressful.
Yeah.
It is. It
In what
delivers
way?
the stress. And that there are stealth um, puzzles in it, so you have to hide from enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And while there is a cheerful companion that's with you, that's helpful, that makes you feel like you're not alone, you do come across enemies that you try to run from, and when they find you, they pounce on you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the gameplay remind me very much of Inside. The running, the jumping, some of the animations remind me a lot of Inside, but in this whole different world. And I fell in love with it by the end. It took me 30 minutes to get through the demo. I highly encourage. I think you're still able to play it. I believe they extended the demo. I highly encourage anyone that enjoyed Inside or anyone that just wants a good platforming puzzle-based game with a beautiful story. You don't get a whole lot out of the demo as far as the story. You get a
Mm-hmm.
little bit to give the planet of Llama. I want to say Planet of Llamas. It's a whole different game. That's like a goat simulator,
Goat Simulator, yeah.
DLC or something. The Planet of Lana demo on Steam, and you won't regret it. I mean, it's free for crying out loud. The demo's free.
All
Um,
you need is a computer, internet connection, and Steam, baby.
yes. So I very much so want to pick the brains of the developers and talk to them about this game. And I cannot wait to play the full game at release. And I think anybody should give this game a shot because it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good game.
I'm excited. From the time I saw it, I'm like, this game looks just absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. I really appreciate the colors and the time that they took to put into the artwork. Um, dude, there's another game that I think that you and I will love together,
Okay.
along with two other friends, because it is 4-player co-op.
Oh.
It's called Void Train.
Okay. Okay. I think
Have
I
you heard
remember
of
you
this?
talking about it in our like private chat or whatever on
Yeah.
in our Discord, but other before you brought it up, no, I had not heard of it.
This one is developed by Niarga.
Okay.
Niarga Hypertrain Digital. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so I apologize. But think base building.
Okay.
Think which I believe that we are in another phase of that. Like with Valheim, you build your base, you collect resources and build bases on in Minecraft, Rust, all that stuff. This you are collecting resources and building a base while fighting off enemies and exploring. Here's the twist: your base is on a train, so you're extending rail cars and building your base on each car. And the way you collect resources is through the void. You're in this like other dimension. So the train goes into another dimension and you connect a hook onto the side of the train. There's zero gravity. So you kind of fly around and collect resources while defending the train from leeches and other unknown atrocities. Um, it's so cool. I didn't know what I was getting into, and I spent a good 2 to 3 hours playing through it, trying to figure out different recipes for building uh, different things. Whether it was a chemical booth, storage booth, a smelting furnace, a workbench, just different things. And then eventually, towards the end of the demo, I found a weapon and was able to mess around with the shooting mechanics, and it was all right. It wasn't anything to get excited about, I
I'll
guess.
say it didn't impress you that much.
No, the building and the fact that I know that I'd be able to do this with other friends and build a base together with other friends was super cool in this space like dimension. And I think that if the demo's still available, you definitely should try it. And if it is still available, we should try playing co-op together.
All right, I'm down with that.
Yeah. Don't know for sure. I thought this was supposed to release in 2022, but it hasn't yet. So,
As in last year, or
yeah,
okay,
because the trailer showed off in Summer Games Fest of 2022, I think. So it was
Okay.
going to release in October, and it never did.
Dun, dun,
So.
dun. So they must be still working on stuff then.
Void Train. Void Train. Oh wait, maybe it's already downloaded. Or no, hold on.
Waiting.
Release date. Oh, I guess Void Train is available on Epic Games Store.
The Epic
It says
Games
release
Store.
date. It's early access.
Okay, gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha.
So, yeah, Void Train. The demo is available on Steam. It might even be available as early access now. I don't know. It's super cool.
Something to definitely look into and keep our eyes on. Is there anything else that stuck out to you?
Xenonauts is like a retro-inspired XCOM.
Ooh,
Yes.
ooh, I have to play it. I have to play it.
Xenonauts 2, you manage teams, try to defend Earth from aliens, and aliens infiltrate certain areas. You send troops in, you fight them through tactics style fighting, and it looks really cool.
That sounds literally right up my alley.
Yes, I have not played that. That was on my list of games to play, but I have not played that yet.
I tell you what, life comes at you fast.
Yeah, it does.
If I had the time to sit down and not work full time and just do this all the time, I would have played all the demos.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and they tease Darkest Dungeon too.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
I believe the demo was out for that as well. I had not spent much time playing the original Darkest Dungeon.
Which I believe is on Game Pass.
It is now on Game Pass, so I downloaded it. Dude, I don't know why I waited so long to play that game.
Is it that good?
It's perfect. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said the P word.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's extremely challenging, but it's so good. It's difficult, but you rally a group of individuals together that are different classes, and you take them and you go into the Darkest Dungeon and you go fighting. And as you're going through each dungeon, you gotta keep your torches lit, because the darker that the area gets, the harder the enemies are.
Interesting.
And your characters, your teammates, your wagon of heroes, deal with fear. And so some, if they get to the breaking point and get stressed, they snap. And some in a good way, some get stressed and like go crazy on the enemies, and some get stressed and get scared and start making bad decisions against your other, like your own teammates. So, and you've got to manage their stress. It is the situation where if they die in battle, they die. That's it. So
that's XCOM like, but this is more roguelite though, right? Instead of like strategy turn-based stuff.
Yep. And I guess it is kind of funny because you could kind of compare it to XCOM in a way. The combat and the storytelling and the graphics are all different, but it is you have a character, the character dies in battle, they're dead. Outside of going into the dungeon, you are also managing characters, whether you send them to the bar to de-stress, send them to the chapel to de-stress. Like, you've got all these different areas on this hub that you can upgrade, increase their abilities, send them to training. It's not like you're just getting up and running. It's not like a platformer or like a RPG where you're running around. It's just, you got this main area, and then you've got the dungeon where you're going into to do quests and get loot and stuff. And man, dude, I'm gonna probably play it some more tonight after we're done here.
Oh, that sounds incredible. All right, you got me pumped, man. I gotta start playing it. I gotta start playing.
You should totally download it. Well, let's say streaming after this, but I know you got other games you're streaming too.
Yeah. So for those that are listening, I will definitely be playing Chained Echoes, which is an indie JRPG. Speaking of JRPGs making a comeback, I'm playing it right now every Wednesday. I had to skip last week due to some big personal life stuff, which I'm still sort of dealing with. Kyle, you're aware what's going on. But
Yes.
I will be streaming Chained Echoes every Wednesday from here on out over on our Twitch, twitch.tv/KKNDgaming.
Boom. Might as well go into the rest of social media. If you're on Instagram or Twitter, feel free to follow us at KK Gaming. And YouTube as well. K&K's Indie Gaming Corner on YouTube. And that is where you can find us. I want to encourage everyone to please subscribe to us on YouTube and follow, if not subscribe on Twitch if possible. We greatly appreciate that. It'll notify you when we're live, or it'll notify you when we put up new videos. Like we did over the last weekend, we put up, I believe, 3 or 4 demo videos from Next Fest. But also on Anchor.fm. Like I would love to hear your voices, because on there you have the ability from your mobile device to send us a voice message, ask us a question, or state, I want to hear like, what's your favorite game of all time? What's your favorite indie game? What's the one game that lays in your memory for all times? And you can tell us, you can ask us a question, whatever you want, and we can obviously play it live here on the episode and quote unquote talk to you about it.
Oh.
But yeah, so it's anchor.fm and
You should mention Persona 5 and why it's the greatest game of
oh
all
gosh,
time.
no, no, that will not get played on here. That will not get played on here. Yeah, anchor.fm, KK's Indie Gaming Corner. You can leave us a message, which I believe is in our LinkedIn, which will be in the notes below. Leave us a comment. Did you play anything on Next Fest? What demos are you looking for, or what games are you looking forward to? What demos did you play? Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on.
Or
if-
lick.
or lick or
Lick.
wink.
Wink. You can wink at your device. You can lick your device. Kiss your device. But we'd appreciate if you liked or subscribe. But if you do any of those things, it's whatever. We understand.
And you guys have a fantastic evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it may be when you're listening. And have a great day.